G'day guys, today I'm going to share with you what we've had for dinner. They are popular meals with the kids. They're simple to whip up and there is a fantastic hidden vegetable pasta recipe that I can't wait to share with you. Let's get into it. The first meatless meal I've got for you is corn and broccoli fritters, and I'm just going to be using 1 cup of wholemeal flour. Wholemeal flour has more fibre and you feel fuller for longer, so that's why I'm going to be using that. And then 2 eggs. Next, you're going to want to add 1 cup of full cream milk and then whisk that all together. Then using 1 whole broccoli, chop up the florets and then put it into boiling water so that it becomes soft. Next, I chopped up 1 large brown onion. If you're wanting a quicker option to dice up your onion, then I often use a pull chopper from Kmart, and the onion is diced after a few pulls. Next, I'm rinsing a can of corn kernels, and then I'm just sprinkling in here some Parmesan cheese. I suppose it's about 1/4 cup before adding in the corn kernels. Mixing that together with the whisk before adding in the diced onion, and then mixing that as well. There was a tiny bit of Parmesan left, so I thought I'd add a little bit more to the mixture. The broccoli is not done yet, so today I thought I'd use my food processor to make some chips. So I'm using the chip attachment and then putting the spuds through. The chip attachment wasn't as effective as I hoped. They're all kind of different sizes, which is going to affect how long they need to cook in the air fryer. So next time I'll just cut up the chips with a knife so they're all a similar size. Then I'm adding some roast vegetable seasoning, and because I've made these chips from scratch, I'm going to be adding in some lemon olive oil. If they were bought from the shops, you don't need to add oil because there's already oil in the chips. I'm putting them in the air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. I do not preheat the air fryer, I just chuck them in. Next, the broccoli was ready, so I'm just straining that before chopping that up into smaller pieces. Then next, you're going to want to add that to the rest of the mixture and mix it all together. Then over to the air fryer to give the chips a shake. I give them a really good shake at the 5-minute mark, so halfway through their cooking time. I sprayed some oil on the frying pan, and then I'm just using this scoop to get similar sized fritters. I'm going to do 3 per pan, and then I'm going to leave them for a few minutes on this side before I flip them over. And then I'm going to continue to use all the mixture until it's completely done, doing a couple of minutes on each side until it's cooked through. And then I'm back to the air fryer. The chips need another 5 minutes, so I'm going to give them another 5 minutes before they're ready. See what I mean about the chips all being different sizes? And then the fritters, like I said, it's a great meal for the kids and the whole family. The next dish is a vegetable carbonara, so using a bunch of asparagus, a bunch of broccolini, 2 zucchinis, and then chopping them up. And then Dave added about 4 rashers of bacon. We've also done it with just the shortcut bacon as well. And then he's going to cook that for a couple of minutes in the frying pan, just until it browns a little bit with a little bit of olive oil. And then he's just getting the pot ready for the pasta, so putting boiling water into the pasta pot and then 500 grams of spaghetti pasta. Next, he's going to be adding in the broccolini and the asparagus, and into the pasta pot he's adding in these sweet potato noodles, which is just adding another vegetable into this dish. While that's happening on the stove, you want to then mix in 3 eggs into a bowl before adding in a cup of thickened cream. And then into that same mixture, he's then adding in roughly a cup of grated tasty cheese before mixing that all together. And then he's going to put that in the frying pan, mix it all together once again before popping it into the pasta, as you can see here, after the pasta's been drained. So this carbonara is a 5-veg carbonara with peas, zucchini, asparagus, broccolini, as well as those sweet potato noodles. This is super popular in our house. All the kids really enjoy this. The next delicious dish is this air fryer salmon and sweet potato. So first off, Dave's chopping up the sweet potatoes, and as you can see, you get a more uniform shape here by chopping it yourself rather than putting it in the food processor. He's then putting some oil in as well as some chicken seasoning, and then mixing that all together before putting it into the air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius, and then he's putting it on for 6 minutes initially so he can then shake it. And they do also have a chip setting. Your air fryer might have a chip setting too. So he's putting it on for that, and then he's giving it a shake. While that's happening, he's going to prepare the salmon. So he's just chopping it up into smaller bits. The great thing about doing the salmon in the air fryer, it is all contained. So all the oil is contained, whereas if you do it on the stove, it tends to go everywhere. Before seasoning it with some Himalayan salt and black pepper, and he's very generous with the seasoning. While this is all happening, he's also going to be cooking some beans, and the sweet potato chips took a while, so they needed another 8 minutes. So it was around 20 minutes before they were ready. And then putting the salmon in. The size of the salmon is going to depend how long it needs to cook for. So these thin ones he's going to do for 6 minutes and then check them and see if they need another 2. When we're cooking salmon in the air fryer, we don't turn it over. We just check it and then do another 2 minutes if you need to. If you're doing the large pieces, we tend to do it for 8 minutes. This is such a delicious and healthy meal. I mean, salmon is so awesome for our bodies. The next one I'm so excited to share with you. This is a hidden vegetable pasta sauce, and if you haven't made pasta sauce with a ton of veggies, I can't recommend it enough. It is so simple and so easy. So first off, Dave's going to be chopping up 2 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, 2 capsicums, 1 zucchini, a butternut pumpkin or squash, 2 bunches of pak choy, 1 leek, 1 brown onion, chopping that all up, 2 cloves of garlic, and then look at this, doesn't this just look amazing? Look at all the colour, look at all the vegetables. To be honest, the kids have no idea how many vegetables they're eating with this pasta sauce. Using a large saucepan, Dave's just going to put a little bit of oil down the bottom before putting in the garlic and cooking that for about 30 seconds until it becomes fragrant. In there, he's also got about 2 tablespoons of dried oregano leaves before adding in the rest of the veggies. And then first off, you're going to want to let that cook for 25 minutes until it becomes soft, and definitely mix it regularly with a wooden spoon. After 25 minutes, then put in 2 cans of the diced tomatoes and make sure you get out all the tomatoes. Then put in just under a half of water as you're rinsing that out. So you're going to end up getting just under a cup of water added to this, and it's going to simmer for another 25 minutes. Once it's cooled a little bit, use a blitzer, and then you have got a secret vegetable pasta sauce. And then Dave served that to our family on some pasta with parmesan on top and a little bit of basil for us, and the kids just had the pasta sauce, cheese and pasta. This pasta sauce freezes so well too. We freeze some and have some for dinner. It just makes the quickest weeknight meal, pulling it out of the freezer, and your future self will just thank you for it. I really hope you got some awesome ideas. If you're not subscribed, we'd love to have you here. So please click that button. See you later.